Are you looking for a step-by-step tutorial on how to grout backsplash tiles? In this video, I'll show you the right way to mix and apply the grout so your kitchen will look like it was professionally tiled. Before you can install grout, you do have to have tile installed. So if you don't have your subway tile installed, find a link to that video in the description below. After your tiles are installed, they do need to be cleaned and the grout lines need to be cleaned out. You can do that with a scraper tool that there is, a grout scraper, or just a flathead screwdriver. For this project, we are using this type of grout. This grout is a special grout. It is a supplement between the sanded grout and a non-sanded grout, so I recommend using it. And also, I am weighing out the mixture plus the water to make sure that I'm getting the correct consistency for this, and this is based off of the instructions on the package. So just take that and divide it up. Now this bag is a 10-pound bag and I am dividing it into quarters to give me the amount that I need. Grout goes a lot farther than you think it will, so just as a note. And as a side note, you'll think that this water is not enough to mix it, but it does come together. After the grout is mixed, it's time to apply the grout to the wall with a float. Now, the best way to do this is at a 45-degree angle. Your goal here is to get the grout to fill those spaces, and doing this with a 45-degree angle is ideal. Applying the grout at a 45-degree angle means two things. So first, it means the float is at a 45-degree angle, but also that you're at a 45-degree angle to the tile itself. I'm not doing this in some of the parts of the video, but I discovered this afterwards and it definitely makes it easier, fills in the gaps a lot better. So 45-degree angle of the float to wipe it off, but also a 45-degree angle of the tile as well. So again, you will apply the grout, and then after applying it and filling in all the crevices, you are going to wipe off the excess of the grout. Apply as much grout as you can in 20 minutes because it needs to sit for 20 minutes before you move to the next step. The next step is washing off the tiles, and this is done by using a sponge that is wet, damp, not saturated, and then you will clean the lines. Ideally, you don't want to do what I'm doing here of just cleaning the lines themselves. You want to do it in a circular motion, but this works as well. But the ideal is circular motion to get the initial. And you'll want to use two buckets. So you'll use one that is a clean water and then one that you dip the sponge in after wiping it. So that way you can have as clean as water as possible to wipe the first cleaning. I want to quickly note here too that my electrical is turned off because you are using water around electrical to make sure that you do not get electrocuted. After your first cleaning, you'll notice the difference here. It is getting a lot cleaner, but it still will look like this. I like to go over it with a cloth. Now this cloth right here is just dry. It kind of removes a little bit of the haze, but it's better to have a wet cloth. I wanted to show you the difference. That's just a dry cloth. A wet cloth actually is going to remove more of that excess grout that you cleaned off earlier. And this is just to kind of clean up the tiles and make sure they're nice and pretty. After allowing the grout to sit for 24 hours, I will come back and wipe it again because there will be a haze. And after that, I am ready for the sealer. Now the sealer is super easy to install and you want to make sure that you seal all your grout. This is easy because all it takes is a paintbrush and you just wipe it on. And if you're wondering, you will be able to notice the difference of the grout lines that have had the sealer installed and not. So you'll know if you missed any. After this, you let the sealer sit for however long it needs to, and then you will caulk or silicone is actually the preference here. Silicone the areas that need to be silicone to seal up the tile between the countertop or tile to the wall, just to make things look extra smooth and clean. I am using tape here to make sure that my line is smooth and consistent, and I just apply it and then using my finger wipe it, and then after that remove the tape. After the silicone has dried, you are ready to add your finishing touches, and you might have to touch up a little bit of paint around some areas, but you're all ready and your kitchen looks amazing.